Welcome to Thrive in the Word. We're studying out of the book of 1 John. And let me just begin by saying this. You know, it used to be years ago when they were teaching a bank teller how to find out what was counterfeit, is they would give them real money. And they would say, now look at this, feel this, smell this, don't taste it, but feel this and smell it and get to know what's real. Well, the theme of the book of 1 John is really a confrontation of false teachers. You see, in the city of Ephesus, in which John was living in at the time that he wrote this, the church had been inundated with false teachers. Now, we said this in our last video, but if the devil knows that if he can't stop you, he's going to change his tactics, and he's going to get you wallowed down into false teaching and make you ineffective. And you see, that's what's happened to the church. The capital, so to speak, of the New Testament church has moved from Jerusalem to Antioch and now is being found in the city of Ephesus. And what's happened is Ephesus has now become a demonic target. And all kinds of false teachers and false prophets are showing up in Ephesus, and they're showing up there for the purpose of misleading the people in Ephesus. In fact, if you want to do a study of church history, you can trace almost all the false ideologies that have been marked as Christianity back to the city of Ephesus. It's an amazing thing. What was the enemy trying to do? He was trying to make the Church of Jesus Christ ineffective. So, 1 John starts out like this. And by the way, I not only are doing a new book of the Bible, I've got a new Bible. This happens to be an NLT version. And the reason I'm using it, and I hate to admit it, but it's got larger print. Now, NLT is a very good translation. I normally would use New American Standard. We got New King James. We got King James. We've got so many great translations of the Bible. But for now, I'm just reading out of the NLT, and this is what John writes. And he says, "We proclaim to you the one who exists from the beginning, whom we have heard and seen. We saw him with our own eyes, and we touched him with our own hands. He is the Word of life." Now, in the New American Standard, it starts out, and it's almost like a question. What was from the beginning? Well, Jesus is eternal. He is from the beginning. Jesus never had a beginning. Now you say, well, what about Christmas? Well, Christmas is when Jesus came from heaven to earth, but it wasn't the beginning of Jesus. The Bible tells us that in the beginning was the Word. In other words, before time ever began, Jesus was there. The Bible tells us that Jesus was the creator of this world. He was there before this earth was ever created. So we need to understand this very fact, that Jesus is eternal. You see, one of the areas of false teaching is that Jesus was just a man and that something happened to Jesus and it made him God. No. Do you understand? No. I've got a wonderful granddaughter, and sometimes I wonder if she understands no. Well, do you understand? No, that is not what happened. Jesus was. He was God. He never had a beginning. He is eternal. Get that into your heart, because there are going to be people that are going to come to you and they'll say, oh yeah, Jesus, he was a good man. He was a great man. Oh yeah, Jesus actually became God. No. Jesus was God. He is God, and he will always be God. Do you understand? And you see, one of the areas that was affecting the church in Jerusalem was these teachers that were saying, no, Jesus wasn't God. He was just a prophet. Jesus was there in the beginning. Again, out of the NLT, we proclaim to you the one who existed from the beginning. He was there before the beginning. Now, let's go on and see what John says. Whom we have heard. Now, all of a sudden, we see something else here. He was God. He is God. He will always be God. But he came here to earth. You see, what makes Christianity different from any other religion is this very fact that God took on the form of a human being. He became visible. You see, Jesus was not some mystical thing. You know, the transcendental meditation people and people, some of the people in India and in Southeast Asia, they think that Jesus was just a cosmic influence. No, he's God. But he's God that came and he walked right here on this earth with people. And John himself says, he says, I heard him. I heard with my physical ears. I heard him speak. He is God, but he came in the flesh. I heard with my ears. Now remember, this is written in 92 AD or thereabouts. Jesus has been off the earth for 59 years. And there's some people that are saying, yeah, Jesus, he was God, but he never really existed. And we need to get this laid down in our theology, in our belief that Jesus is 100% God. He was also 100% man. He was pure man and pure God. We understand that. And he says, whom we have heard and seen. Not only did we hear him, but we saw him. And then John goes on and he says, and we saw him with our own eyes. Not only did we hear him and see him, but we touched him. With my hand, I touched him. With my own hand. And then John ends the first verse, and we're going to end this podcast. And he is the word of life. Now we're going to pick up there in our next video. Our prayer for you is that you would really know who Jesus is. Because knowing who he is will make you 100% free, because he is the truth.